Because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do y'all need help? So Ms. Cooper, you're going to get taken into custody today.
Wait.
Your Honor, what was the consequence again?
Oh, you're going to prison for 8 years.
I'm going to prison for 8 years.
Not every courtroom reaction makes sense. Some scream, some cry, and some leave everyone confused. These are the top 5 craziest reactions to sentences in Judge Boyd's court.
And money to run concurrent. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Why are you not following conditions of probation?
No, I throughout the time of me entering, I was struggling on getting a better apartment for me and my child. And the simple fact that my child's father
I cannot understand a word you're saying. You're mumbling and you're speaking in run-on sentences.
I was looking for a place for me and my child. And at the time of it, my son's dad was trying to take custody away from me. And throughout that time, I just lost my father as well. My dad just, but he just killed himself. And I'm not even from Texas, I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. So having all that going on in my head caused me not to do what I have to do on probation.
But the problem is, this is not your first time not doing what you needed to do on probation. Where's your child?
He's with his dad in Texas.
So, I mean, you're not doing anything on probation. So I don't understand why I should continue to work with you when you're not doing what's required of you. And honestly, I know probation is asking for ISF. I don't even know how ISF is supposed to help. How old are you?
I'm 28.
So you're 28 years old. I don't understand how you don't report. I don't understand how you don't pick up the phone and call somebody and say, these are the difficulties I'm having in my life right now. Instead of coming to me crying, please don't send me to prison. So why shouldn't I send you to prison?
I have a whole lot of my figure ahead of me. I know
I can't understand.
I know that I'm only 28 and I get that. I know.
Well, not only 28. If you were before me saying I'm only 18, then I'd be, okay, this person is young, but you are 28. Not only 28, you're 28.
No, I don't want. Throughout my whole life, I've been going through a lot of ups and downs. It started with my mama, and then with my dad.
And what with your mom?
I was young when I was separated from her.
And why were you separated from her?
Due to what happened to me at a young age.
Okay.
And that caused a lot of confusion, traumatized, depression, and everything else. Because I just want to stop the cycle that my family has. And I want to be the last one. I definitely don't want my child to be the one to end this. I wanted to end this cycle. And I'm asking for forgiveness and asking for another chance on my probation to do better by my mom and my dad who just died.
What do you mean do better by your mom? I thought this all started with your mom.
It has, because I don't talk to my mom. I don't speak to her. Because I know how she's feeling right now. I know she's angry at me and all the above.
And why is she angry at you?
If I have not talked to her, I know that I'm not listening to her. And the fact that me and my mom do bump heads a lot. And it's hard. But it's hard for me. So I am asking for another chance. To do right.
All right, see, and here's the thing, you were back here in August. And you pled to violation of condition number 2. I denied the motion. I extended you for 1 year and asked for parenting classes. So obviously, the fact that you had your son means nothing to you as far as you doing your probation.
My son do means everything to me.
Then why are you not acting that way?
Your Honor, at the time, I was also dealing with court for him. My son's father is trying to take my rights away. I have been placed on child support for him. They also wanted me to do parenting classes.
All right, and see, this is what people sometimes don't get. When you have a child, whoever you have that child with, that person has as much right to the child as you do. And honestly, if you're not doing what you're supposed to be doing, then yeah, that other parent should step in and try to take custody of their child. Because I don't know why people think that when they have a child, they had this child in a bubble with just themselves and there's nobody else out there. All right, this is what the court will do. The court will deny the motion, alter and amend conditions to extend for 2 years. There's to be ISF, cognitive, and GPS for the remaining of the term. And there's to be no unsupervised contact with minors until further notice.
I will say I apologize. I didn't see this on here before. It wasn't alleged on the MTR. I do, however, see that at least at the time this was generated, she did have a pending fail to ID in Bell County. I don't know if that is still pending. That may affect her ability to go to inpatient, but I just read it right now. It's not on the MTR, but
All right, well, counsel, you need to check into the Bell County matter because they are not going to accept her at ISF until that's done. And she's going to remain in custody until transfer.
That's wrong.
All right, thank you.
Okay.
Ms. Cooper, so you're asking to be transferred to Bell County?
Yes, ma'am.
So who do you know in Bell County?
I have my child there. I have a few, they're friends, but they're more like adopted, like you adopted them to your family, like your extended family.
Mhm.
So I've been getting a lot of help since I've been out.
All right, and have you been maintaining your sobriety?
Yes, ma'am. I actually put in a whole bunch of applications. I got a few jobs that is actually lined up, but the only thing I need to get is my ID. And I'm having issues with that because of my birth certificate. But other than that,
All right, what issues are you having with your ID?
one, I don't have my birth certificate or my social due to. Yes, ma'am. And I've been trying to see if my mom can send it, but the copy that she has is under a totally different name and stuff like that.
Oh, well, you can go online and order it. I mean, it costs.
Yeah,
But if you talk to probation about that, I'm sure they'll be able to help you.
yes, ma'am.
All right, and when's the last time you had your UA?
I want to say since the last line.
And when was that? Has it been this month?
No, ma'am. I'm just not hearing from probation last week.
Okay, all right, so we'll do a UA today. And Bashan,
Yes, Shauna.
if her UA is okay, then we'll do I'll allow for her to transfer to Bell County. And make sure that probation has reviewed that location.
Yes, Shauna.
So you're going to do a UA today, okay? And what are the results going to be?
I'm gonna be honest, it's gonna be negative because of my tooth. I've been having a massive toothache.
Is that
This one and
prescription?
this one? Yes, ma'am. I don't have it with me though.
All right, so you're going to have to provide prescription for that. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And we're still going to do a UA today. All right. Yeah. All right, Ms. Cooper. Hey, Norma, can you see if Matt can get an attorney for Miss Cooper? So Miss Cooper, you're going to get taken into custody today.
Wait.
Miss Cooper, there will be an attorney here for you today.
Wait. Talk to her. Why are you trying to fool me? Can I please talk to her? Can I please? talk
Miss
to her?
Cooper, we're not going to take you. I think she's going to have to go.
Can I please talk to you?
And Deputy Laura, we'll have an attorney appointed for her, so they'll be here to speak with her today.
So keep her downstairs.
Yes.
We're gonna keep her downstairs and we're not gonna keep her down.
All right, thank you. All right, the court is calling 2015 CR 11815W, State of Texas versus Amia Cooper. Could I have parties announced for the record for the state
Jason Garrahan, Your Honor.
defense?
Charles Bunt for Ms. Cooper.
And are you Miss Cooper? All right, Miss Cooper, well, before we do that, Mr. Bonk, you are appointed to represent Miss Cooper today, is that correct?
Yes, Judge.
Have you had ample time to review the allegations in the motion?
I have, and we're waiving our preparations.
All right, Ms. Cooper, do you understand that your attorney has 10 days to prepare for a hearing on this matter? You need to say yes or no. I'm sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you understand your attorney is waiving that right and he's asking to proceed now? Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any objection to proceeding with this now? All right. I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Mia Cooper who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2015 CR 11815W for the offense of promotion or prostitution of a person younger than 18 years and placed on probation on January 25th, 2016 for a period of 5 years and extended for 3 years? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, state.
Yes, Your Honor. Violated condition number 2 on or about the 25th day of July 2023 in Bexar County, Texas. The defendant, Amia Cooper, did in there legally use a controlled substance, namely methamphetamines, in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Okay, here's the thing.
Sorry.
I can't hear you. You're gonna have to speak up. You can't be whispering because I know when you're in public, you don't whisper. So how do you plead to a violation of condition number 2 that's just been read by the state? True or not true?
It's true.
We'll
State.
waive the remaining violated conditions, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No.
Did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, and sentence you up to 20 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, there is, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
It is to adjudicate guilt or revoke the individual offer of probation and is sentenced to 2 years in TDC.
Is that the agreement?
That is our agreement, Judge.
Ms. Cooper, are you asking the court to follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes.
I cannot hear
Yes.
you. All right. The court will follow your agreement, find you guilty, grant the motion, sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served.
For the record, Judge, I've been told by the court staff and the probation department, she has 576 days credit that we're asking to receive.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I
Yes.
include time for her stay at status and state ISF?
All right. Were those successfully completed?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And I'll give her credit for any time and inpatient treatment. Is there anything else with regards to sentencing?
No, Judge.
Showing you what's entitled trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waived your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question about what a weapon or need to speak to your attorney. Do you understand?
Yes.
All right, we can go off the record. I understand the issues that you've had in your life, but at some point in time, you are going to have to start making better decisions, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in and out of prison and back to the same place that you were before. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
And if you have a significant other or somebody in your relationship who wants you to do things that are not for your best, then you need to drop them, because they mean you no good. And I don't know if what I'm telling you is sinking in or not, but if you have a boyfriend out there who's making you do things or wants you to do things for fast and easy money, then guess what? That is not the person for you. And you're going to have to stop using drugs, because otherwise what you had in your system today, that could be the last time you use. And then guess what? There would be somebody dead in Bear County or somebody dead in the field, and they'd be trying to identify the body. Then somebody would identify the body, and it may be you. Don't be that person. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Good luck to you. And state your name for the record.
James Madron.
All right. It says here that you didn't talk to the manager and you left when asked to stay in the lobby by the probation officer.
Your Honor, I was my grandmother, thankful for her that she helped me with my burdens when I had to do these reports and everything, and she would have my kids in the car while I'll be reporting. So at that time, I really didn't have too much time to be there due to my being responsible for 2 children. So that was just that at that time. That was it.
Okay. That doesn't make sense to me. Your grandmother is helping you with your children.
Yes.
And how old are your children?
3 and 1.
All right. So she's helping you with the 3 and 1 year old. So you're telling me your grandmother drives you to see your probation officer
Yes.
and then says, I can't wait.
Yes, Your Honor.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
It's just like I have real no support, really none. It's just me out there.
All right. So your grandmother is not supporting you.
Well, in a way she is. In a way.
All right. And then it says that they tried to have virtual meetings with you and you kept rescheduling, and they allowed you to reschedule it and reschedule it and reschedule it.
Again, I had financial burdens.
So you didn't have a cell phone.
No.
You couldn't get a ride via bus.
Your Honor, my grandma lived in Leon Valley and then she moved over there by Lackland Air Force Base. And I did not have reliable transportation.
Oh, no. I know for a fact that there's transportation by via for Lackland.
Oh.
And you know how I know there is that? Because one time I made a mistake and got on the looper, which I believe is the 510, and it takes you all around the city. And I was like, wow, this is where the bases are.
Yes, but where I had to report was over there by 1604 in Bandera, which
Via.
yes, Your Honor. And they canceled that bus route. I know it sounds like if I'm making it up or not, but yes, they did cancel that bus route for that reason. That drive was very, very extreme.
Did you pick up the phone, call probation and say, hey, this
Yes,
is
Your
where I
Honor.
am? Okay.
Yes, Your
All right. Any other questions?
Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Madrone, my name is Hank Wilkins. If I ask anything you don't understand, just let me know and I'll try and rephrase it, okay? Do you know the last time you reported?
The last time I reported was
This year?
yes,
It was this year? So would you be surprised to learn that probation thinks the last time you reported is November of last year?
um,
Did you ever do the CATS theft course?
no,
You didn't do that. Did you do the CATS 2 theft course?
no,
Did you do the moral recognition therapy?
no.
Did you do anything on probation?
I had parenting classes that were available online, which I did do, and it waived over my community service.
I'm sorry to interrupt. How can you do the parenting classes online,
They
but
were
you
for
can't
free.
report? No, but you can't report to probation online. Explain that to me.
I did report to probation online every time I had a Zoom meeting. And when it was in person, it was hard for me to be able to report due to my lack of transportation.
Do you remember telling probation in January of this year, they're not going to do anything? Do
No,
you remember telling them, I know the judge will reinstate me?
no,
You understand that when you pled to this offense, that's a third-degree felony, right? You're looking at up to 10 years in prison.
yeah, I do understand. Yes, I understand.
And you knew that, and you still didn't do these conditions of probation, right? You didn't do the
No.
moral recognition therapy?
Not that I had faced financial burdens. So I did not have support from the mother of my children. She was attending school at the time. But now I have a reliable job. I have the means to prove to the court that I could be responsible in finishing my term with the probation.
Seems like the easiest thing to do would be to report, though. You didn't report it all this year, right?
No, because she said that she was gonna file a motion to revoke, and I had said that, okay, that we have to do what we have to do. That's simple. That's what I had said in that response.
I'll pass the waste, John.
Nothing further, Your Honor.
All right. Probation. Was there any restitution for Elise Perez and Kimberly Soto? All right. So this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find violation of condition number 4 true. The court is going to find you guilty. There's to be no unsupervised contact with minors. With regards to punishment, state, what are you requesting?
Your Honor, we're asking for the 10 years in prison. This is a third-degree felony. This is a SBI, Your Honor. Some other cases were taken into consideration of this plea. The defendant had opportunities between the position. He didn't do much of anything on probation. I was trying to get some more information today. None of the answers are very satisfying. So we're asking for 10 years in prison. Your Honor.
Defense, what are you requesting?
Judge, I asked that he be sent, continued on probation and sent to ISF for a period of time to get his thoughts together. Be able to get out on the street and be a productive member of society and also a father for his 2 children.
All right. Oh, yes. You wanted to add something?
May I address the question?
Sure.
Yes, I would like to say that I would like to suggest no tolerant probation where I may be supervising weekly UAs. I do not use drugs.
Mhm.
And or an outpatient program, intense outpatient program that I can prove to the court where I can be responsible in completing my probation successfully.
Okay. All right, this is what the court is going to do. As previously stated, the court is finding violation of condition number 4 true. The court is going to find you guilty. The court will sentence you up to will sentence you to 8 years in the prison. There's to be no unsupervised contact with the minors. Court will give you credit for any time served, and the court will request the therapeutic community. Did you review the trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you sign it?
Yes.
All right. You do have a limited right to appeal, and that right to appeal is as it relates to the allegations in the motion, not the fact that you were on deferred adjudication. Do you understand? All right. Good luck to you. We can go off the record. Here's the thing. I can't force them to place you in the therapeutic community. You'll have to request that. And then it's completely up to them whether or not they place you in the therapeutic community.
Your Honor. What was the consequence again?
Oh, you're going to prison for 8 years.
I'm going to prison for 8 years,
Yes,
and that's the done deal.
yes.
Okay.
All right, good luck to you, okay? All right, you say they were trying to arrest you. How were they trying to arrest you? And so when you were trying to step off the bus and you're saying that they didn't tell you what you were arrested for, what did you do? All right, so what did you do? And how did you do that? Not, I guess, I mean, you were there, I wasn't there, your attorney wasn't there, the state wasn't there. So how did you try to do that? So you're saying his injuries because he stumbled and that had nothing to do with you? And if it didn't have anything to do with you, let me know. I am not holding it against you. I just am trying to figure out what your thoughts were on that day. Well, you're saying he stumbled. How did he stumble? Okay. All right. Any other questions, defense?
Expound on this, guys. On the bus, there was 2 officers, correct? Okay. If you remember, Josh, did y'all all end up on the ground at some point? Were you inside the bus or outside the bus? It was outside the bus, so it's like on the sidewalk of the pavement or something? Okay. Did they try to arrest you on the bus or off the bus? On the bus, and then outside the bus. How long did all this happen from the point where they tried to arrest you to the point where you were tased? If you had to guess. 30 seconds. Okay. Thank you. No further questions, Your Honor.
Any follow-up, state?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Any other witnesses?
Nothing further, that's Your Honor, just argument.
All right. The court will hear argument. All right, defense.
Your Honor, the defense is asking for probation, either deferred or even straight probation for the conviction in this matter. Even if that involves inpatient status for safety up front, we're not opposed to it, Your Honor. Mr. Enzalgua has a history, and it's unfortunate that we're here today again. I know you don't like to hear the word that mistakes were made and everything else. These were very unfortunate choices. Your Honor, I believe he is taking responsibility for what has happened. And the judge, the court has the discretion, the sole discretion as far as what needs to happen here. He's facing up to the decade in prison. That's a very long time. Of course, it's on, but I would suggest that he would be better served, the community would be better served if he was placed on probation with treatment. TC is a place to go. There are certain cases that are warranted for it. However, in this particular case, Judge, I think it's clear there's a drug issue, drinking issue, everything else. In a short time he's been out, he's done okay. I think he will be successful on probation if he's granted. For those reasons, Your Honor, we're asking place him on probation. If the court sees fit to order him to inpatient treatment, but Your Honor, we're begging, pleading not to send him to prison.
Do you think you need inpatient treatment? Well, no, I mean, when you were talking before, you had requested outpatient treatment.
Never had it before, so what?
All right. I don't think that probation is appropriate in this case, so I'm not going to grant probation. I'm going to find you guilty in each cause number. I'll hear any argument to time.
Yes, Your Honor. I know the state's asking for 10 years for the judge. We have a wide range, anywhere from 2 years all the way up to 10 years. Your Honor, we would ask on the lower end that no more than 5 years. Again, I think if there is somebody that suffers with demons, he would benefit from treatment. We understand where the court's coming from by not granting probation. But Judge, we're open, begging that the courts say that that's something less than 10 years. We would suggest a sentence of 5 years or less.
And state. Okay. All right. So I'm looking at your previous history, which is a part of the PSI. You have a previous resisting arrest, search, or transportation. On that case, you were given deferred adjudication. You were revoked. Then you have a driving while intoxicated. You were given jail time. You have an evading arrest detention, jail time. All right, this is what the court is going to do. Court is going to sentence you to 8 years in prison in each cause number. They will run concurrently, taking consideration 2024 CR 006796, 2024 CR 006798, 2024 CR 007768. I'm going to order no contact with the complainants and restitution in each cause number with the complainant. Did you review trial court certification of defendant's rights to appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because these are felony convictions, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. Do y'all need help? You got it? Thank you, counsel. Yes. This is the court's issue, and it's based upon what's in the stipulation. So in the stipulation, it states, victim had asked his mother to go inside his bedroom in an attempt to help search for a pair of headphones. Victim lives with witness at the listed location where the offense occurred. As witness one was inside victim one's bedroom searching for the pair of lost headphones, she located E9 behind the headboard of the victim's bed. The witness, not knowing what E9 was, held on to E9 and showed it to victim one the next day. Victim one did not recognize E9 and did not know how E9 ended up inside his room behind the headboard of his bed. Victim one researched E9 using the application Google Lens and discovered E9 is used as a voice recorder. Victim one contacted victim two and the defendant for advice on what to do with E9. Victim two advised victim one to call the police and make an offense report, while the defendant advised victim one to destroy E9. The defendant also offered to come to victim one's home with his own cable in an attempt to investigate E9, and also suggested to victim one that it would not be in victim one's best interest to call the police, as victim one's parents are immigrants and a police report would jeopardize their immigrant status. That's my problem right there. So it doesn't appear, when the witnesses say that he wasn't malicious, to threaten somebody's immigrant status. This is what was stipulated to, saying don't call the police because it's going to hinder your immigrant status, or it's going to jeopardize your immigrant status. That sort of says something about his frame of mind. So I'll hear your argument.
Your Honor, to respond directly to the court's statement, Judge, my client, we can see my client here visually in court. You've heard witness testimony. I believe that my client's motivations were not malicious. He's not, in that text, he's not threatening the victim, using his immigration status as some kind of leverage not to get him to report. My client has experienced an extreme amount of shame. Now, that shame probably does not equal to or exceed the shame that the victims probably are experiencing. I can say that confidently, that my client's shame does not rise to their level of shame for this. My client has been a friend with one of the victims, Daniel Campos, since they were kids. He's a kind and caring individual. He is a sweet kid. I've had extensive interactions with Aaron. I do not believe that he was using this as leverage in a malicious way, and I know how that sounds. And I would, if my client were using that, and again, I don't believe he was, it is abhorrent that to use such a tactic to intimidate. I do not believe it was for intimidation purposes.
Well, I mean, what was it for? Because he's telling them, don't call the police, because if you do, you're going to jeopardize your immigration status.
My client wishes to address the court.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. Is there something you wish to say?
I was genuinely afraid that he might actually lose his immigration status. I've known him for 14 years. I've known that it's the case. And throughout this whole thing, I've talked to my lawyer, I've talked to my girlfriend, that that's my absolute worst fear through all of this. I told him that with the intent to go over. And I don't honestly know if I would have talked to him about it and revealed it, but I know that now I wanted nothing but to actually talk to him about this. And I understand that I might not be able to for however long, and that the consequences might be more far-ranging than that. But I swear that that was not a threat to his immigration status, and I didn't mean it as one. It was a comment I made out of fear.
Out of fear of what?
Fear of him losing his immigration status, or not being able to, that he might be deported if he actually goes through with the police report. I don't know how the law works, and to that extent, I didn't know that he had any kind of protection. I don't know if he does, and I'm very fearful of that, even now.
All right. Anything else from anyone else?
Your Honor, I would just say information.
Just 1 second. Any questions with regards to facts?
Okay, how many questions about that?
All right.
Thank you, ma'am. Your Honor, reading the PSI report, the PSI reports recommending deferred adjudication. My client has been admonished by myself as to what deferred adjudication is. He's also been admonished by myself as to the consequences of violating any conditions imposed upon him. And lastly, Judge, he's been admonished as to what this court will do and what the court's tolerance level is for any violations, and that he will be held fully accountable if he does violate, and if this court does not play around. I know that, and he's been admonished as well, that this court does believe in equity and justice, and he understands that violating any terms and conditions that the court would impose upon him, what the court's going to do if he does violate those conditions. And Your Honor, my client's 21 years old. Again, he's a full-time college student. He's working. He is actively engaged in mental health treatments on a weekly basis. He has never been in trouble before, Your Honor. And respectfully, we ask that the court grant a term of 8 years deferred adjudication, or in the alternative, 8 years community supervision, Judge. We do not believe he is a threat, an ongoing threat to this community.
Judge, if I may, I just want to correct something he said. I don't believe that PSI recommends deferred adjudication. It only indicates that he is eligible for it. My understanding is that all PSIs don't make a recommendation as to whether a defendant should be on community supervision, only that if they are eligible under the condition.
That is correct.
Here you go.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to find you guilty. The court is taking in consideration 2024 CR 010521, CM 119819, and CM 119820. And I want you to know that I did listen to all of your witnesses. And I took all of that in consideration, as well as the PSI report and as well as your statement. The court is going to sentence you to 2 years in the prison, give you credit for any time served. There's a $3,000 fine, time and money to run concurrent. Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and sign it? All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. If you have a question over what a weapon or ammunition is, you'll need to speak to an attorney. All right, good luck to you.
Judge, before we begin this, if I may, could we also have that no contact order that's part of the plea agreement attached to this?
No, I said no contact with the complainant.
Sorry, I missed it. Sorry.
No problem.
Your Honor.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't know what court's policy is. May my client's mother give him one last hug? It might be some
No,
time.
they don't allow that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor.
Yes, we do have to victim impact. I'm sorry, Judge.
All right, just give us a moment with that. Deputy Mejia, if you can just go ahead and arrange for his items to be given, and then we'll come back with the victim impact in a moment. 9 a.m. It is now 11:35 a.m. The defendant did not answer docket. All right, who's the prosecutor? You, Kayla Rolak? According to the plea bargain agreement in this case, you pled to the lesser included offense of abandonment of a child with intent to return. Punishments to be assessed at 2 years in the state jail facility. There's a $1,500 fine. The state is opposed to your application, and they're taking several cases into consideration. Have both.
Although it's been presented that the defendant seems to be taking some steps in,
All right, you all need to whisper in the box.
taking responsibility for this matter. Based on the allegations, Your Honor, it shows a gross negligence and the lack of proper judgment. In fact, if the defendant did admit to leaving her child purposefully at the home without checking to see if there was anybody there to supervise the child, Your Honor. This resulted in the victim child being able to escape the residence on her own, being outside in cold temperatures with nothing but a diaper on. Based on the allegations, Your Honor, the state would oppose the defendant's application.
All right, is there a reason for the tears? Because what he's just saying is true.
No.
Now, I know people want to cry before the court because they want the court to be lenient, but let me just tell you, tears don't sway the court. I'm just here to listen to facts to see if you've done anything that would justify the court placing you on probation, okay? All right, so that's why you're asking for her to go to prison?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. And have you state, have you had a chance to review her certificates?
I did, Your Honor.
All right, defense?
Yes, sir. And Your Honor, we're asking that the court consider supervision for her. This offense, first of all, the child just wandered away in contrast to what counsel says that the child escaped. So it wasn't a matter of escaping. She was just wandered off as children off too. My client had stated, she told the police that she thought that the adults were inside the home and that the child was being taken care of. And it was just a mistake on her part. And I would like for Ms. Rolak to address the court on this issue of abandoning the child.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Kayla Roloff.
All right, defense.
And why do you, first of all, was this an honest mistake on your part in leaving the child?
Yes, I would never want to leave my child on purpose. I take care of her every day. I'm the only person that she's been with every day of her life. I love her and I didn't mean to put her in any harm's way.
All right, somebody want to explain to me, the crux of this entire situation is some kind of way, a 2-year-old in a diaper ended up wandering the streets in a diaper only in November, and it was cold. So, I mean, that's what we need to get to the point of, because in the PSI report, she's blaming the people who CPS has put in charge of helping her supervise the child. That's who she's blaming for her child being out and about, because in the PSI report, it states that guilt was minimized. And in the PSI report, she's stating she thought these other people who CPS put in charge of her child as the person to chaperone or supervise, she's blaming them, saying that they were supposed to be there. So somebody explained to me how a 2-year-old gets out of a apartment or residence that's supposedly locked or should have been locked.
So she was naked, not wearing any clothes, because that's how we sleep. She still goes and runs around naked. We just got out of diapers, so she usually just wears a underwear. But that's why she was naked, not having any clothes. And I do not blame anyone else. This is my fault. I should have been the one to check if anyone was there. I was just saying that I had thought, because when I laid down my daughter, my mom and my uncle were still there. So that's the reason why I didn't check, but this is my fault. I am taking full responsibility.
Okay, I hope everybody understands. I'm always curious. I have questions. It sounds odd to me, unless people are living in a mansion and you have the west wing and the east wing and people leave and people don't know it. So I'm just finding it, or I just have questions. How a child gets left, and I don't even understand how children get left in the car by themselves, but in a home, how does a child get left in a home by themselves if a parent is leaving and other people are there and other people see you leave? Nobody thinks, oh, we can't leave because there's a 2-year-old here. How does that work?
So when I laid down my daughter, my mom and I both went into our rooms. That's why I thought that she was there. So I didn't hear no door open or close, and I hadn't come out of. So I didn't see anybody. I figured my mom was still home because I didn't see anybody out there.
So you don't see anybody and you just leave your daughter in a house and you haven't seen anyone?
Just because I thought that my mom was in her room still.
Defense, you may continue.
I have no further questions, John.
Any questions?
Just briefly, Ms. Rolak, how far away is your mother's room from your room?
It was down the hall.
Did you knock at all to check if she was still there?
I don't think so.
Did you walk around the apartment to confirm that there was any adults present before you left the apartment?
I just walked through the living room.
Nothing further else.
All right. Any other witness, defense?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I want a UA today, then I'll make my decision. All right. So Ms. Abrams, if I could have a UA on Ms. Rolak, please. So Ms. Rolak, I wanted to tell you, and this is why I always keep an open mind on everything. Just reading your history and looking at everything, someone would suggest that you should go to prison. But you know, I always tell people whether you think a judge is going to do something or not, and I would always tell my clients, hey, you know what? We have to give the judge something to suggest you're not going to prison. So don't come in and throw yourself on the mercy of the court and you have done nothing. You understand? So I see that you've done a lot. I see that you completed everything with Child Protective Services. And sometimes Child Protective Services, they're always overworked and underpaid, but you actually had a good caseworker to stay on top of you and make sure that you were doing everything that you were supposed to be doing. And I see that you, during this time, you got your GED, you're enrolled in college, that's great. And to all the children who are out there who always think that the best college to go to is someplace that's not at home, sometimes, you know, the best college is a college that's actually in your city. People always want to go to some other college because they think it's the best college. And I always say the best college is wherever you are if you make it that best college. So I see that you've done that. You have supervision because you're not living by yourself. I'm going to want you to continue to not live by yourself. Now, once you've been on probation for a while, your attorney can always come back and ask the court to reconsider that part. So who are the persons you're living with?
I live with my mom
Okay.
and my daughter,
And what's your mom's name?
Brenda Marshall.
I'm sorry?
Brenda Marshall.
Brenda Marshall. And I'm assuming your mom wants you to remain with her.
Yeah.
All right, so this is what the court is going to do. The court is going to grant your application. And I'm actually going to give you deferred adjudication. So 4 years deferred adjudication. There's to be a $1,500 fine. That will be probated. Taking consideration, County Court Cause number 688-620, 691-438, Night Mag number 675530, proof of employment within 30 days. And in this court, if you're on probation here, I don't allow you to be a home health care provider. So there's to be no employment as a home health care provider with minors. 250 hours community service restitution. Those hours will be waived if you provide proof of enrollment in college, which you have. You need to provide that proof to probation today. And for the court to give you credit for that, you need to take at least 9 hours a semester. And I don't allow people to do that thing where they say, oh, here's my 9 hours for semester, and then they drop classes. That's expensive.
Can I say something?
Yes.
I actually am going for a pre-major in psychology, and then I want to go to UTSA. So after these, I'm gonna do like, I think around 17 hours a semester because I'm.
Thank you. See, when I tell people that every semester I would do like 24 hours a semester, people don't believe it, but it can be done.
Yeah.
All right, so provide proof of enrollment in college with at least 9 hours. Probation, I'm going to ask for parenting classes. She's already completed those, so you'll need to provide documentation to that. She is to reside with Brenda Marshall. And so it's only you two in the household, right? All right. There to be no adult males in the household residing there.
Okay.
If something changes, you can let me know. I just found from my experience as a defense attorney on CPS side, what ends up happening is mothers are doing great. And I've had male clients over there too. They're doing great. Then the next thing you know, they end up getting a new partner. they don't vet that partner appropriate, and everything that goes downhill. So that's why I'm putting no adult males. So she's not allowed to reside with any adult males. Probation, I'm gonna want field visits once per month. Regular reporting, and the field visit can count as her reporting, and that field visit is until further notice. And we'll do regular UAs. Probation, is there anything else she needs?
No, Your Honor.
Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful?
If, I know you said I could take my certificate that I already did parenting class.
Yes.
Can I still take another one? Because this last one that I took with the San Antonio Fatherhood Campaign, I actually learned a lot. And if I could just keep learning, because my daughter is getting older.
Okay.
And also, is there any way that I can get, that y'all can help me with like therapy or like getting into counseling?
All right, so what I'll do is probation, we'll add parenting classes. And make sure you notate in that the parenting classes were at Ms. Roleg's request. And also, do we need a mental health caseload or mental health evaluation probation?
What's your mental health evaluation for referral?
All right, we'll do a mental health evaluation for referral.
I did do that, and she said that I didn't have any like things, but I have a lot of anxiety and I just deal with a lot of stress and stuff. So that's why I asked for like the therapy or counseling.
All right, they'll take care of it. They're gonna make it happen. If it doesn't happen, let me know.
Okay.
I'm here. All right, I'm showing you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. All right. All right, good luck to you. Good job.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Your Honor,
Yes.
did you specify?
Wait, am I still on house arrest?
Oh, with regards to the monitor probation,
Yes, Your Honor.
let's keep her on the monitor for 2 months. If there are no issues, then it can be removed.
GPS partial.
Yes.
I can like take my daughter to the park and stuff.
Yes, it's probation. Just make it tracking,
All right. Thank
but
you
you'll
so
still
much.
need to let probation know where you're going to be. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. And this is the top copy is for the state. All right, thank you.
Have a great
Just,
week.
oh, thank you.